welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be having a look at Carnage. Now, I'm going to talk about kind of the future of Carnage, where that is potentially going, what it's like to use as a bot at the moment, and also pretty much should you buy Carnage. I'm going to talk about where you can get it from and pretty much everything this bot can do, so let's get straight into it. So first of all, if you did not know, Carnage is not your usual sneaker bot. In fact, it's not really a sneaker bot, although it does actually support some sneaker stores. Now, Carnage is incredible at buying Pokemon, consoles, any of that stuff if you are in that market. Now, reselling has expanded a lot recently, and you'll see this in a few other bots. In my Nebula review, I mentioned it, how kind of bots are starting to go to alternate directions. Nebula also support a Pokemon in the US, and they also support Walmart. So these are kind of collectible sites. However, Carnage, if you are in the EU, this is pretty much as collectibles as you can get. And I would say this is probably the first collectibles bot as well. Before this, there really weren't many, especially for the EU. Now, you're seeing lots of others come along. Flare, their team have just released Fuse, but Carnage was there first. So you have to respect their name in the collectibles industry, because PS5s, back when they were absolutely banging, Carnage was completely taking stock. So a few facts about Carnage before I actually get into the bot. It costs around £500 on the market from what I can see. However, that may change. So you can now buy Carnage on botbroker. This is a new thing. Well, when I'm recording this just went live. So yeah, that's a really safe way to buy it. Prices should be around £500. There haven't actually been any sales on botbroker at the moment, but looking at previous botmart sales, around £500. And also the renewal is £25 a month, which I think is fairly reasonable for a bot like this. Now, another way you can get access to Carnage is through group buys. So this is when your cook group that you're in, they give you some copies and basically they release them, and you get essentially a private restock through your group. Now, Notify do get quite a few of these, NotifyEU. So if you guys are interested in joining NotifyEU, they've had actually one today. When I was recording this video, they had one. It was their 1 year anniversary. But if you guys are interested in joining Notify, all links will be in the description. It's the cook group I'm in. You'll see me in chat there. So yeah, head down to the description, turn notifications on, and try catch a restock. As I said, Carnage is most known for its PS5 success, and this was on sites like Game. I believe they had a queue bypass, and that was insane, really. It just, no other bot could keep up with it. In fact, I don't really think there were any other bots, maybe a few private ones, but Carnage was the one everyone wanted. If you're reselling PS5s on a big scale, you had Carnage. Now, another thing to mention, as I said, Pokemon restocks, they are hammering these. I do not know too much about Pokemon restocks, these kind of hidden boxes. I don't know if that's right, but you can see photos in their success. They are doing incredible at that. So if you're really anywhere in that industry, if you sell collectibles at all, get this bot. It'll do you. It'll sort you out fine. Now, another site they also do well on is AWLAB restocks. That is where you run 24/7 on high delays. They have a list of all the PIDs you need to run, size PIDs and everything. You chuck that in your bot, run that on some DCs, and you're good to go. And people do really well on that globally. But let's get straight into the bot. So now, looking at the bot layout already, you can see it's fairly simple. There's nothing too like super visually pleasing, no super graphics. However, I don't think you need that. I think this works. They've got a really nice color theme with these colors there. They've got a nice kind of background here. In the bottom left, you'll see a create tasks. You click that, and that will take you to the create task page. Now, once you're here, you can see the store. So that you can see all the sites here. Now, I'm going to have a site list on screen. It is super long. Now, this is only the sites. I think there are a few other random ones that they haven't actually listed. And as you can see, not all the ones that will be on the list on the screen will be here. They're commonly taking them in and out, ready for drops, working on them, fixing them. That's just kind of how this works. Now, a lot of these sites are new to bot protection, especially looking at Curry's, Game. Really, before PS5s or any of that stuff, they didn't have any bot protection because no one was botting them. So they definitely got in there early. Bot protection is weak on these sites, so they can do really well compared to shoe sites, because they've been being botted for 3-4 years heavily now. So we're going to select Curry's because why not? Now, checkout mode normal. So this would be on something like AWLAB actually. This is where you can see checkout mode. You can go to normal or fast. They do have documentation where it will say which one you need to use for running restocks. So running restocks, you're mainly meant to use fast. So let's set up for AWLAB instead, just because that's where it's going. This is where you would put in the product ID, the PID. So they would have a list of PIDs in their folder, and they'll have all the size PIDs that you can paste in there. But for now, I'm just going to put in one. And then you can also select your profile. Now, you'll see here, I have different profiles, none of them in the UK. That's because a lot of the sites they support do not actually ship to the UK. However, that doesn't mean it's not a UK bot. I actually really do recommend this for UK people if you are into collectibles. But a lot of the sites it supports need reshippers. Now, I've done a whole video on reshipping, and that'll be in one of the corners up there. I really recommend you watch that because getting set up for reshipping is super, super easy. And if you're with Carnage, I totally recommend it. Super cheap, and it's just a way for you to make more money. It expands your market massively. So you can see I've got all my different profiles there. I'm just going to put in my German one for now. Now, proxy list, none. You'd normally put in DCs. We'll go to the proxies in a bit. Then you have payment mode, so you can see PayPal or credit card. They'll specify which one to use, but it's a restock, so you'd really be wanting to go credit card. And you can also throw in a discount code there, because on a lot of these sites they do have newsletter discount codes or something that you can throw in there and get a nice discount on a product, which is, we love to see that. So here you can actually create a task for all products or for a single task. So we're just going to do a single task. And as you can see, if I click away, that has created that task there. Now, in the top right here, we'll have all the actions, so we can start it, edit it here, and you can duplicate it or delete it. You have all the normal stuff up here. You can see my Discord name, import and export. You also have a capture harvester. If I click down here, this is quite nice. You've got the capture harvester going around here. They've called it a challenge solver. This is where you'll just have some simple bot protection. You can press new to make another one. You can reset, and I believe you can even log into a Gmail. Now, it doesn't look like they do support proxies on here, so that's something you might have to think about. They don't support proxies within their capture harvesters, but it's a small thing, and easily an update could be put in literally tomorrow to get one in. So let's shut that, and let's move on to the profiles tab. Again, super, super simple stuff. A few things on the screen, it will actually be blurred because obviously it's profiles, but simply you just press create profile and you throw everything in. I'd recommend setting up a profile for yourself, your reshipper, maybe a few other addresses around the UK, your address jigged, a few other things. Just get a solid profile set up. Moving on from here, you have proxies. Proxies is super, super simple. So like I said, this is where you'd add some DC, so we could call this, you know, get that out of there. And you could put DC list 1 maybe, so DC 1, and then you have that here, and then you can go and press load proxies in the bottom right. And this is everything you need. You can go and delete everything in here, paste your proxies in. It supports IP auth and also IP port, username, password, everything there. Throw it in, it will auto detect it. You can then press create and all your passwords will be in there. And then you can also go into accounts again, and this is where some sites need accounts. Now, I believe they do generate some accounts for you, but this is just a good way to store them if you need to import them or anything. All that you can put in here. You can put the email, password, and you can have the account in. And then lastly, we go into settings. So in here, as you can see, it is a bit buggy. I'm not sure why. I think it's just one of the updates. There's been a bit of wrong formatting here. But as you can see, the top one is your retry delay. On restocks, you want this really high. On AWLAB, when you're running 24/7, we are talking probably above 15,000. But obviously, on smaller drops, you want that lower. They will specify normally in the Discord. You can ask the chat support. They can always help you out there. And then you have your monitor delay. If you look here, the second one there. So that's your kind of how often you're monitoring the website for updates. You then also have your webhook. This is where you can paste your webhook. All the success will go here. It'll be thrown in, show all the profile, everything there of what you've checked out. And you can also put in a cap monster key. I'd highly recommend doing this. You don't want to be solving captures like you saw. They're not the best. Throw in a cap monster key, and the cap monster will automatically solve the captures for you. You throw some money in their website, and it'll be fine. Press save, and you are good to go. Now, I love almost the format of this bot. The fact that it is so simple, I'm really, really a big fan of. And this is because it is so beginner friendly. Now, lots of people are into the whole sneaker reselling thing. And I think the idea of being, you know, hitting 100 pairs on a drop and watching people like Botterboy know that sneaker reselling does look quite glamorous. However, at the end of the day, I think one of the easiest ways to make money in the kind of whole reselling scene is collectibles. People in Carnage back in PS5s, now whether you thought it was right or wrong or what, they were making loads of money. And if you want to make loads of money, Carnage is a brilliant bot. And for the price, for what you get, for the developers, for the bypasses, honestly, if you're a beginner wanting to just get into reselling at all, this is a brilliant bot. Carnage, I think they're going to become more of a mix of shoes as well. From what I can tell, they put AWLAB in and they've had great success there. And I think the demand is there for them also to add a few shoe sites. So I think this would be a really good investment, especially with the botbroker support. It makes it a lot easier to buy it. If you are thinking about buying Carnage, I cannot emphasize enough to grab a copy, try it out, safe to buy, and super easy to set up. Now, there aren't too many releases at the moment, so I think this is actually a thing you will see. It does go a bit dry. So the £25 renewal, you might not pay for itself every month, but at 1 month, it will like pay for the whole year in profit. if you get me. It'll pay over and over and over again. In fact, one PS5 would have paid for a ridiculous amount. So some months it will be perfect. However, some months I do think it will be weaker. Like this month really hasn't been a great month for collectibles. I mean, if you're into that whole Pokemon thing, I think it's been quite good, but PS5 wise, it's definitely calmed down a lot. However, what I would say to that is summer is coming along, and we all know what happens in summer with collectibles. You have hot tubs reselling, you have other random things. Last time it was weights in the first lockdown, and Carnage will be on that. There'll be a whole new demand. As lockdown kind of eases, people will be mass buying items. Carnage will be on that, okay? So if you do want to get ready for summer, that whole wave of reselling coming out of lockdown, I cannot recommend Carnage enough. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to press like and subscribe, because there's a statistic on screen and pretty much none of you who watch my videos are subscribed. It does make me pretty sad. But yeah, be sure to subscribe, comment below any reviews you want to see of any other bots, and yeah, I will see you in another video.